I call it your second half. Now today I have 3 stories of 3 people to motivate you. Introducing Joan, Raymond, and Patrick. Let's start with Joan. As a child, she had dreamed of becoming a writer, but by the age of 31, things were not looking good. Her mother had died, her husband had divorced her, and the best job she had ever held thus far was a stint as a bilingual secretary for Amnesty International. But that didn't last either. Joan now found herself in her 30s, a jobless single mother who had to rely on state benefits to feed her child. She was extremely depressed and very often contemplated suicide. Now, does Joan's story motivate you? No? Okay, let's try Raymond. He had never contemplated suicide, but he did live a fairly unremarkable life, devoid of any sort of accomplishment for 50 years. Raymond didn't dream of a particular career as a child, but he did dream of being rich. But try as he might, however, Raymond simply could not seem to make this happen for himself. He spent the first 5 decades of his life trying to make it in different careers, including soldier, jazz pianist, radio DJ, and a paper cup salesman. He even worked in a restaurant for no salary, choosing to be paid with food and lodging instead. One day, Raymond woke up to discover that he was 50 years old, working as a soda machine salesman with no prospect of ever becoming rich. Raymond's story, does that inspire you? No? Wow, tough crowd. Okay, how about Patrick? Now, Patrick was actually a millionaire by the age of 37. He was working with a big software company. He was raking in some serious dough. Married man. He had just had a kid, and in spite of being African, was living the American dream. So why was he so miserable? Why did he feel so unfulfilled? Well, what on earth could cause a man who had made millions applying the skills of his profession to feel like he had been wasting his time and potential? In spite of his bank balance, Patrick wondered whether he wasn't actually a failure. Let me guess, Patrick's story doesn't inspire you either, right? Well, I confess I'm not surprised. I only told you the first halves of these 3 people's stories. Here are the second halves. Joan fought her depression long enough to finish her first book, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which made her the richest living author, creator of a $15 billion brand and a household name that you and I know as J.K. Rowling. Let me tell you about Raymond's second half. After failing at everything he ever tried, Raymond eventually met 2 brothers who owned a restaurant. Now, after developing and promoting the brothers' business into a chain of extremely popular eateries, Raymond Kroc bought the business from these 2 brothers for $2.7 million and grew it into the world's biggest fast food chain, McDonald's. Now, as for Patrick, well, his true calling continued to elude him until one day he read a quote from Goethe. It says, "Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now." That was the moment he realized that his destiny was to change the world by transforming the future leaders of his home country from rote-learning robots into critical thinking creators. So he pushed the reset button, went back to school for a master's degree, uprooted his entire family from their comfortable existence in the United States, and brought them home to Ghana, where in 2002, at the age of 37, Patrick Ewua established Ashesi University. All 3 stories are about people who were relatively advanced in life by the time they achieved their dreams. In the first halves of their lives, they seemed to be lost, wandering around without a purpose, while others their age probably forged ahead with stellar careers. But their second halves proved that what some might have considered aimless wandering was just their endless trials of different paths and opportunities until the right one opened up for them. It appeared to be too late for them, but in spite of life's disappointments, they never gave up on their dreams. And when the opportunities finally came, it didn't matter whether they were 30 or 50, they grabbed the ball and ran with it. The life and accomplishments of the world's great achievers remind us that Even if life diverts us from the path of our dreams, we can always find a new dream at the end of our new path. And as long as we keep striving, it's never too late to change the world. Whatever your age, your life so far is only the first half. It's time to show the world your second half. My name is Kojo Yankson, and not all those who wander are lost. Good morning, Ghana folk.
Yeah, and the story of Ray Kroc is always an inspiration to many, especially in that advanced age of his.
Yeah.
And alongside Colonel Sanders.
Indeed.
Well,
Colonel
we have to look
Sanders.
at many other things before
Tried
us.
and tried again.
Yeah,
Indeed.
definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so please know that perseverance and consistency would always get you there. But please persevere with us. Be consistent this morning. Make sure that you get interactive. Facebook, JoyNews on TV. Also be watching us live, not only on Facebook, but myjoyonline.com. We have a Twitter handle. You can also watch us live through our channel on YouTube, My Joy Online TV.
Shall we do the headlines?
Yeah, definitely.